Hello, everybody. It's Barbara, and it is time for Pick a Stack Wednesday. Best day of the week. We're starting off today with a little golden singing bell. If you aren't aware, because you live under a rock, we are at the beginning of the super blue full moon. This super blue full moon occurs because it's the second full moon in a month. And we had a super full moon at the beginning of August, and now we have another super full moon at the end of August. So that makes it a blue moon. The next one is supposedly not until 2037, and the fact that we have all this plasma energy from the sun coming in, we have a whole bunch of planets in retrograde, including Mercury, the way the planets are in alignment, then we have this super blue full moon, and it's right at the end of August into the beginning of September, so it's all about endings and beginnings. There's so much going on, so much power here. So I just want to remind you to utilize that power. That's why it's given to us, so that we can utilize it. So if there's something that you need to bring to completion, you need to give up a habit, you need to get rid of something, somebody, now is a really good time to do it. Meditate. I don't know about you, but I didn't hardly sleep at all last night. Oh, the last 2 nights. I've been feeling it for the last few days, this super blue full moon. It's very powerful. I can sleep just fine while I'm working at my computer in the middle of the day when the store's open, but I can't sleep at night. Anyway, just be aware of that. If you're having problems sleeping, it might be because of that big moon, and it's supposed to be a lot bigger than usual, supposedly because it's closer. So keep all of that in mind. If your emotions are doing the roller coaster, remember the moon controls the tides. Tides are water, emotions are watery. So if you're up, you're down. I know last night while I was trying to sleep and I couldn't, I just wanted to scream, and that's not me. That was me feeling that intense moon energy. So if you're feeling a little more emotional, that might be why as well. All right? Okay, this is what we do here. We're starting off with the golden singing bell. This charges up crystals, me, you, the cards. I've already meditated. Why not? I wasn't sleeping. We're going to do 1 card from each of 3 decks today. And I will show you those decks. Stack number 1 is the Tarot of Dreams. So we'll do 1 card from that. And I do have something in front of each stack. So stack number 1 has the bell with the triple moons on it. Stack number 2 will be 1 card from the Tarot Grand Luxe. And the Tarot Grand Luxe has this little water clear quartz Vogel healing wand. Stack number 3 will be 1 card from the Chakra Reading Card deck. And in front of that deck, we might have a moon theme. We have the triple moon candle. This is actually a candle. So we kind of have a moon theme. Go figure. All right. If you're new, this is what you do here. You think of an idea, issue, or question pertaining to yourself, your loved ones, your community, the world, and then you choose a stack. Stack number 1, Tarot of Dreams. Stack number 2, Tarot Grand Luxe. Stack number 3, Chakra Reading Card deck. And hopefully whatever you pick resonates with whatever you asked about. I highly encourage you to listen to or watch the whole video, because there might be something in stack 3 that it pertains to you, but you chose stack number 1, and it's okay, right? There's no right or wrong here. Actually, everything's right. So It's all about you. You're in charge. All right. Remember, you're the most important part of this whole reading, and you're the reason why I do it. So I'm going to do a blessing at the end as usual. So if you stick around, you get the blessing. Okay. Before we get started, I'm just going to have a little sip of water. Excuse me. Let's get started. If you chose stack number 1, you're going to get a card from the Tarot of Dreams. The Tarot of Dreams. So, stack number 1, people, what do they need to know today for this beautiful, super blue full moon? All right, so you don't fall on the floor. Okay. We're going to start off in stack number 1 from the Tarot of Dreams with the 3 of Swords. 3 of Swords. I'm just going to put that up even closer. This woman is crying, and she's holding her hands like this at her heart. 3 of Swords usually has something to do with a broken heart. A lot of times you'll see a picture of a heart with 3 swords through it. Also, what's interesting is she's got on her forehead, there's the moon. It's actually the moon and the sun, but see the moon? So my question to you is, what are you hanging on to that has broken your heart? Not what has broken your heart, but what are you hanging on to that has broken your heart? When you hang on to something that's broken your heart, you are giving that thing power, that thing, that person, that event, and you have to let it go. That can be an ex, it can be a child, it could be a car accident, it could be a conversation, it could be any number of things. But you have to stop holding on to whatever that was, whatever happened. And at the beginning of this video, one of the things I said was this super blue full moon is a really good time to release things, to let them go, to have them come to completion. Whatever has broken your heart in the past, let it go. It's in the past. And yes, I know it's hard, but you make it hard. Okay? It's like having a suitcase handcuffed to your wrist, but you have the key in your hand. The key isn't even over there. It's like it's handcuffed to this wrist and you have the key in this hand. But you're like, no, I'm not going to use this key to open that up because I don't know how to live without that thing strapped to my wrist. Well, guess what? It's time to figure that out, because where we're headed, we don't need baggage. I was told, oh gosh, about a year ago, that I had to release everything because I needed to be able to fit through the eye of the needle. We all need to be able to fit through the eye of the needle. The eye of the needle does not allow suitcases and baggage, and that's emotional baggage. That means we release anything that has to do with exes, court cases, resentment, fear, guilt, blame, anger. We release all of that because you no longer need it. Maybe you did it. Maybe you did before. You were in survival mode. We're not going to be in survival mode going forward. We're living now. We're being alive now. Okay? And you don't need the baggage. Whatever you have to do to get rid of the baggage, it's time, and it's time now. I mean, it's been time for a while, but it's really, really time. Like, we're coming up against the wire here. You have to get rid of this baggage. That means make your own little ritual. Write the whole thing down on a piece of paper and then burn it. And then treat yourself to something. It means, let's say this represents that thing. It means you destroy it. You give it away. You do something with it where it is no longer in your life. You know, somebody was in my shop the other day, and she was telling me about how her ex's family won't give her things that belong to her and her children. There's this pettiness going on. Let the stuff go. It's just stuff. I did a huge cleaning out earlier this year. And everybody thought, oh, this is really cool. I'm getting a good deal on this. I'm getting a good deal on that. It was difficult. There were emotional attachments to that stuff. But I sent them all off with love. Because you know what? That is just a piece of furniture. We don't need to have emotional attachments to those things. I can love something. I can love this. But I don't need to have an emotional attachment to it. So this is what I want you to think about. Especially since we just had the Maui massacre, the fires. If your house burned down, and you're still alive, you'd be okay. Isn't that what matters? Yeah, it'd be great if you had your photo albums. It would be great if you had your computer with all your pictures on it. It would be great if you had grandma's teacup set. But in the grand scheme of things, where are those things? They're up here and they're in here. Okay? As long as you're still okay, that's what matters. Those physical things, they're just things. And the people on the other side will tell you the exact same thing. Because I've meditated and meditated. You know, what should I do with Grandpa's hat? And I get a message from Grandpa. It's just a hat. It's not me. So these things that you're holding on to, or these people that you're holding on to, this baggage that you're holding on to, it's time to let it go. You have to be able to fit through the eye of the needle, whatever that means to you. And you're not going to be able to do that if you're laden down with all this stuff. And here's my funny story on that. So I went to the Renaissance Festival a couple weeks ago, opening weekend. And I go as a warrior. I have all kinds of stuff strapped to me, you know, my spear, my sword, baggage. I couldn't sit down. Couldn't sit down because I had so much stuff strapped to me. That is what I'm talking about. When you have all that stuff strapped to you, you can't sit down. You can't fit through the eye of the needle. Now that was just for the Renaissance, okay? That's not my life. But it's a great representation. The more crap that you have attached to you, the more it bogs you down. Okay? We don't want that. So start letting go of things. This is a really good week to do that. All right? I send you big hugs and blessings and love, and you're going to be fine. I know you will. I've been there. I've actually lost everything in my life 3 times. And you know what? I'm still here. I'm still here. Actually, I'm better than ever. Because you think about releasing all that yuck. Every time I lost everything, I got stronger. I knew more of who I was. And you do it by your choice so the universe doesn't do it to you. Okay? You get rid of those things, those emotions, those low frequency emotions, those attachments. Because if you don't, something will happen to strip you of that stuff. And it won't be feeling too good. Okay? So do it yourself. I promise you it's much better on the other side. All right. It's a good way to start out. Very powerful. We're going to do a little cleansing here with the golden singing bell. And this bell. And with this. I use this in my healings, by the way. It is very powerful. And it's beautiful. All right. That was stack number 1. Let's see what stack number 2 brings from the Tarot Grand Luxe. All right, what do my stack number 2 people need to know today? Okay, a bunch of cards just fell out. I'm not going to go with those. Oh, they're just jumping all over. Can we just have one? Okay, that's the one. Can't make this up. We got the Moon card. We got the frickin' Moon card. Now, the Moon card, in this deck, it is represented by the wolf and the dog, which, you know, most of them do that. They are chained, but they're not really chained to anything. And then, of course, there's a lobster. There's water, because we know the moon draws the water. And we've got this big, beautiful moon. Now, this is card number 18 in the Major Arcana. This is a message from the universe. The Major Arcana cards are more powerful. 18, 1 plus 8 is 9. So it's all about completions, like I was talking about in the beginning. This card talks about shadows. What's going on behind the scenes? What's going on in the dark? You know, here in stack number 1, we were talking about what has broken your heart and what are you hanging on to. This is kind of along the same lines. And it's really interesting that we got this card in stack number 2. We had to talk about this first. Remember, I don't choose these cards. My spirit guides do. This is another reminder that we have to be aware of what's going on in the darkness. We need to deal with what's going on in the darkness. It doesn't mean, oh, hey, look, there's an attachment to me. I'm just going to let it go. I went to South Dakota a few weeks ago to one of the reservations to work with the Lakota. And I came back with a really big, nasty demon attached to me. And I had to have a healing and have that thing pulled off because I could not get it off myself. And this is a reminder, this card is a reminder that we have to not only be aware of what's going on with our shadow selves and with the darkness, but we have to deal with it. I mean, every day we make a choice. Do I want to keep that attachment? Do I want to allow those demons to be attached to me? That can be 2 different things, by the way. Or do I want to deal with them and be rid of them? For me, I don't want those things attached to me. I like being clean and clear. I don't want this stuff on me. And so I will contact a healer friend and say, I need help, which is what I did. Thank you, Scotty. So, there's that one saying about there's the light wolf and the dark wolf. Which one will you feed? This is the same kind of thing. We have the wolf, which is wild, and we have the domesticated dog, which, is still could be wild. Okay, I'm laughing because I don't know if you can hear that, but there's a whole bunch of dogs barking outside. Right when I'm talking about this. I love it. So which one are you going to feed? Which one are you going to be? Are you going to be that domesticated dog? Which, if you were my dog, that would be totally okay because you'd be spoiled rotten. But not all dogs are spoiled rotten. Are you going to allow the wild wolf in you to be prevalent, to be in the forefront? Are you going to be a combination of both? Either way, they have chains on them, but they're not chained to anything. Those are self-limiting beliefs. So whatever's going on in your darkness, just like in stack number 1, it is time to deal with it. It is time to look at your dark self, your shadow self. It is time to look at those attachments, those habits. If you have any kind of addiction, whether it's drugs, alcohol, shopping, hoarding, sex, whatever, the spirit of addiction is on you. You get a choice every single day. Do I want this thing to be attached to me? And the thing is, it's attached to you. The medical, pharmaceutical, psychological community doesn't want you to understand what's really going on. They want you to be medicated. They want you to come to therapy, but that's not what's needed. You need to get rid of that spirit of addiction. And usually the spirit of addiction is accompanied by the spirit of victimhood. If you feel like a victim, you're easier to manipulate into being addicted to something, because that whatever you're addicted to is used to ease the pain of being a victim. So get rid of those spirits. I'm not talking about grandma and grandpa and Uncle Bob. I'm talking about the spirit of addiction and the spirit of victimhood or victim mentality. Whatever it is you need to do, it's time to do it. Just like I was talking about in stack number 1. This is the time where we need completion. We need finality. We need to be done with whatever these habits are. It's almost like an itch. Stop scratching it. Get to the root of the problem and get rid of what's causing the itch. And that means get rid of those spirits. How do you do it? First of all, it's really easy. Just tell them, I don't need you anymore. I don't need you anymore. Maybe you needed them to help you get through some bad times. Okay, but you don't need them anymore. You're not a victim, and you don't need to be addicted to anything. You need to deal with this shadow self, shadow time. My guide said you need to be done with this shadow time. You need to come up into the light. Okay? It's time for the light. And you know what the moon does? The moon reflects the light from the sun and amplifies it, especially this week. So the light is super bright. Utilize that light to burn the crap out of all these nasty spirits and demons and low frequency emotions and anything else that you have going on with you. This is a really good time to get rid of those spirits that are causing you to gain weight. A lot of people are gaining weight. Tell those spirits, no. Mm-mm. Call in God, Creator, Source, Great Spirit. Call in Jesus. Call in Archangel Michael. Call in whoever resonates with you from the light. Your spirit guides from the light. And just say, I'm done with this stuff. I'm done. So that you can come into the light. Okay? Deal with whatever it is that you got going on. This is an affirmation of stack number 1. It's the same kind of thing. We all need to come out of the darkness and into the light. So, all these veils are being ripped aside, and your job is to open your eyes and open your heart, open your mind, and go, okay, yeah, this stuff's real. Because it is. And we all know those people whose minds are so closed, and they're like, la 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 la, this is not real, this is not real. Well, you know what? Our job isn't to try to change them, it's to plant a seed with no emotion. I plant a seed and I have to walk away. It's not my job to nurture that seed in somebody else. That's hard. That was one of the lessons I learned when I went to the reservation. All right, that was stack number 2. Interesting. Putting your water out in the full moonlight would be a really good thing. Cleanse it and charge it. Another thing too, if you can, put your crystals out in the moonlight. It doesn't mean they have to be outside. They could be in a windowsill. I'm fortunate I have skylights, so I can put them under the skylights. But yeah, put whatever you want cleansed and charged out in the moonlight. You have 3 nights. You have a 3-night window. The night before it's full, the night it's full, and then the next night. Okay. They don't have to be out there all 3 nights. Pick one. All right. Stack number 3 is going to be a card from the chakra reading card deck. What do stack number 3 people need to know today? Okay, hang on. What does everybody need to know today? They said this one. I heard this one. You get divine wisdom, and look at what number it is. It's number 36. 3 plus 6 is 9, which is all about completions. Can't make this stuff up. 36. Ooh, you know what? 36 is the last card in this deck. So it really, truly is about completion. It's finality, completion, ending. It's Soul Star chakra, so the chakra that's out here, that's closest to the divine. What I was talking about in stack number 2 with bringing in the light, get rid of the dark, bring in the light. Here's the light coming in, the divine wisdom. Let's see what the book says. You have the divine wisdom of the universe available to you at all times. As you may know, you are deeply connected to and an expression of the divine light of the universe. This divine light has within it the powerful knowledge and wisdom of the cosmos. This light is all-knowing, wise, and all-loving, intelligent light. You are reminded at this time that this wisdom is at your fingertips, that you are made up of this wisdom, and that it runs through your blood. You can access it at will. If you have been searching for answers and guidance from sources outside of yourself, it's now time to look inward. Meditate, meditate, meditate. We got to be going inside of ourselves. That's where the Christ consciousness is. It's our connection to the divine. It's not on Google and YouTube and it's not in somebody else. Too many times people say, what's the right way to do this? To somebody else. Well, you know what? The right way for you to do it is different than the right way for me to do it. Because we are different beings. We are both in human suits, but we're different beings. Some of us resonate with Sirius. Some of us resonate with the Arcturians. Some of us resonate with Mama Earth. We're going to do things a little bit differently, but all the ways that things are done are the right way. So don't think you have to do something a certain way because Joe Blow over here told you have to do it that way. There's no one right way to smudge. There's no one right way to play with crystals or do tarot. There's no one right way to cook macaroni and cheese. Just saying. It is time to tune in, connect to, and become aware of the divine wisdom that lies within you. Trust the calling to deepen and awaken this aspect of yourself as you start to also trust the wisdom that comes to you. When you ask the divine for answers, don't be surprised when answers show up for you. Right now, I have put a question out to the universe, and I'm waiting for an answer this week. It hasn't come yet, but you know what? Patience is a virtue, and the answer will come to me at some point. I'm not worried about when, and I'm not even worried about the answer, because whatever it is, either way is fine. There's no emotion in it for me. But I know that the answer, the right answer, is going to come from out there. It's not going to come from somebody that walks in the door or somebody that's in my inner circle. Unless they're being used as a tool to bring me the answer. Take a moment in a quiet place. Ask your question and listen to the voice inside your heart offering you the answer and singing the song of divine wisdom. And like I said, sometimes it doesn't come right away. The answers lie within the chambers of your own heart. Sometimes it can be challenging bypassing those crazy thoughts in your head in order to get to your heart. However, once you get that feeling in your body that everything is just right, you will know you are there. A lot of times we get, goosebumps or chills, or we'll feel like somebody's there. We'll feel hot, we'll feel cold, tingly. Everybody's a little bit different. Then it's just a matter of trusting the process. And as it grows stronger, to use it just like a muscle. You have to do this often. And the more often you do it, the easier it becomes. Seriously, practice makes perfect. It's time to flex your heart and listen to the divine wisdom it has to offer. It pulsates through every cell of your being, ready and waiting for you to awaken to its calling. The affirmation for this card is, I am aligned to the divine wisdom of the universe, and it flows through me in abundance. Yes, divine wisdom of the universe flows through me in abundance. What's cool about that is then I can share it with others. Right? And that's always a good thing. All right, so that was stack number 3. Let's finish with some golden singing bell and a blessing. Super powerful reading today. A gentle but not so gentle reminder to clean up your act. Deal with the darkness. Use crystals, frequency music. singing bowls and singing bells. Regular bells. Whatever works for you, get on it. Make time. Don't say, oh, I don't have enough time to do this. You make the time. Make the time to deal with your darkness, especially in the next 3-4 days. Today's Wednesday. I'd say, at least by the end of the day, Saturday, get this stuff dealt with. You will feel so much better and so much lighter. I promise you, you will. All right, that was Pick a Stack. I send you blessings of love, light, peace, joy, happiness, success, divine health, and all good things. Because I know you're worthy. I know you want it. I know it's safe for you, and I know you deserve it all. So have a blessed day, my beautiful soul family. Mwah. Namaste.